Jerry watching Free Speech TV in Sun City, Arizona. Hey, Jerry, thanks for watching Free Speech. What's on your mind?
Thanks, Thom. I'm calling about voting and documenting your vote. Since George Bush got appointed back when, I've been taking a picture of my ballot, me holding a selfie of me holding my ballot so I could prove who I voted for. And I've been thinking this could be done in a voting booth with a picture ID and a cell phone. And it may come down to something like this to document it, who we all voted for.
The problem, Jerry, is that it's a one-sided transaction. When you go into, and the metaphor that's most often used is banks, right? Because Diebold both at least used to make the machines for banks that, spit money out, the ATM machines, and automatic tellers. And they also make, or made, voting machines. And so the argument was, hey, you don't have any worry about going to your bank and, sticking a card in and getting $200 out. Why should you worry about using a Diebold machine? Well, the fact is, if I go to the bank and I stick my card in and I get $200 out, I can 5 minutes later pull up the bank, my bank account on my bank app on my phone, or I can walk into any other branch, or I can do it on the internet, and I can look at my balance and I can see that $200 was deducted from the money I had in my checking account. And at a particular time in a particular place, presumably by me. And if it wasn't by me, then I can complain about it or do something about it. On the other hand, if you vote on one of these machines, even if you've got a picture of yourself voting, there's no tracking that on the other side. You can't call the Secretary of State and say, how did I vote? How was my vote counted? I voted for John Kerry. Did you count that as a John Kerry vote? Did my ballot even get opened?
I've done that.
You've done it? You've tried?
I did that with Helen Purcell, so I never got an answer.
Right, because they don't have an answer, because we have secret ballot voting, which means that once your vote is tabulated, it becomes part of a giant pool of votes that no longer have unique identifiers associated with them. So there's no way of knowing who you were. And that's supposed to be a feature of our system, not a bug. But it's also it's why we never should have gone to machine-based voting in the first place until we had come up with some variation on the bank transaction that I was talking about. I mean, and even there, I'm very wary of this thing. I mean, banks get hacked all the time, right? I mean, banks lose hundreds of millions of dollars a year worldwide to hackers. And so you think you can't hack an election? I mean, come on. So, but the fact that there is no other side of that transaction, that's why we just need to go back to paper. We need to do what the UK does, what Germany does, what Canada does, what basically every advanced democracy in the world does, which is you vote on paper. And if there's any dispute or any question, you pull the papers out and you get a bunch of human beings to count them and to tabulate them.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward, and the part that people always miss is the part that, like with the bank, you can actually check what the consequence of your action. You can track it, you can see it, whereas with a voting machine you can't. And there's no way to make the voting machines so that you can. And therefore, I say just get rid of them altogether. Jerry, good on you for being concerned about this and for speaking out on it. And thanks for the call. Thanks for watching Free Speech TV. It's 19 minutes past the hour. We'll be right back.